Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyat Viradavakradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. With Bhagavan's grace, we came up to Slokam number 2 in 9th Adhyayam. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Abhyayam. Slokam number 3. Men who are not interested in this knowledge do not experience and attain me. Instead, they continue to be born and die in this worldly whirlpool. Asraddhadhanaha purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrutyuhu samsara vartmani. Asraddhadhanaha purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrutyuhu samsara vartmani. Padangal are asraddhadhanaha purushaha dharmasya asya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrutyuhu samsara vartmani. Mrutyuhu samsara vartmani. Parantapa, scorcher of the one who basically scorches his enemies. Parantapa, asya, this dharmam, dharmasya, this vidya, this dharmam that Bhagavan is talking about, right? Asraddhadhanaha, not interested in it, not dedicated to it, not committed to it. Shraddha, as we saw earlier, cannot be described in one English word, right? So, asraddhadhanaha, without people who are not inclined or interested in it, purushaha, those people, mam, myself, aprapya, not attaining, mrutyuhu, samsara, vartmani, mrutyuhu, death, right? Samsaram, what we go through, to and fro, all the things we experience. Vartmani, that cycle that is there, the whirlpool. Mrutyuhu samsara vartmani, in this whirlpool of samsara, the death and birth and all that, nivartante, they enter that again. Not attaining me, they enter that again. Asraddhadhanaha purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrutyuhu samsara vartmani. Slokam number 4. The universe is pervaded in its entirety by the imperceptible me. All things are in me, but I am not in them. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsani sarvabhutani na chaham teshvavastitaha. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsani sarvabhutani na chaham teshvavastitaha. Padangal are maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsani sarvabhutani na cha aham teshu avastitaha. Idam, this sarvam jagat, all, the jagat is not just the world, right? Jagat is something that comes and goes. That is the whole universe, the whole prapancham, also including the physical, the mental, and all the areas that comes and goes, appears and disappears. Sarvam Jagate, in all the ways. This Sarvam Jagate, Avyakta Murtina, Avyaktam, incognizable, beyond the ability of the mind and words to capture, something that you cannot picture or imagine. It's beyond that. Avyakta Murtina, incognizable entity, Maya, me, by me, Tatam. Tatam, as we saw earlier, means spread out, completely occupied by, pervasive, it's pervaded by. Sarva Bhutani, all the beings. Matsani, they are established in me. Mat, me, Stani means they are established. They are in me. Aham cha, but me, but I, Teshu, in them, na avastitaha. I am not in them. Okay? Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha. Question comes, how is it possible, trying to understand this? What Bhagavan says is that they are in me, but I am not in them. How is it possible, Swami, right? The question comes and Bhagavan answers that. In the next couple of slokams, the answer is coming. Bhagavan further explains. In fact, the worldly things are also not in me, he says. Now this is really beginning to confuse, right? So listen carefully, it will be very clear. In fact, the worldly things are also not in me. Look, my divine effulgence creates and supports all the things, but itself is not limited to their appearance. It's very important to understand. Okay? I'll read it again. In fact, the worldly things are also not in me. Look, divine effulgence creates and supports all the things, but itself is not limited to their appearance. Slokam number 5. Nacha matsani bhutani pasya me yogam aiswaram. Bhuta bhrunna cha bhutastaha mama atma bhuta bhavanaha. Nacha matsani bhutani pasya me yogam aiswaram. Bhuta bhrunna cha bhutastaha mama atma bhuta bhavanaha. Padangal are na cha matsani. Bhagavan says in the previous slokam, matsani, they are in me. But here he says, na cha matsani bhutani pasya me yogam aiswaram. Bhuta brut na cha bhutastaha mamatma bhuta bhavanaha. Cha and bhutani, the beings, na matsani, they are not in me also. They are not in me. Me, my, aiswaryam yogam. Isvara means lordship. Isvara means also master. And it also means the effulgence, the divine effulgence of the Lord. Yogam aiswaram. Aiswaram yogam. Divine effulgence of my divine effulgence. Pasya, look at it, see it. Where can I see it, Bhagavan? We ask the question, right? You ask me to see it. Mama Atma, it is my Swabhavam, Swarupam, Bhagavan's nature, Mama Atma, Bhuta Prit, supporting all the beings that have been created. Again, beings means, do not make the mistake of limiting it only to physical appearance. Physical, mental, emotional, everything that comes and goes, okay? So, this Mama Atma, Bhuta Prit, supports all the Bhutas. Also, Bhuta Bhavanaha, they create them also. But, na cha, Bhutastaha, they are not in the things that have been created and that appear and disappear. How can we understand this? Let me give you a small, short example before I move on. Normally, I do not want to interrupt the flow of the Lord But here I'd like to share with you how I learned it. So I just want to explain this. This is such an important point. Normally, in scriptural teachings, we are told, you would have come across this example probably several times. If you walk at the dusk time and the evening time when it is neither fully light nor fully dark, you're walking on the road and all of a sudden you see a rope. And immediately you think, oh my God, is it a snake? Right? Then the moment you put your flashlight on it, it appears, oh, it's not a snake. Okay, it appears as a rope. So what is true in this instance? The fact that when you thought it was a snake, when it is really not a snake, only was a rope. So what is the truth? We've been told as soon as you shine the light on it, you realize that it is a rope. So the truth is it's a rope and not a snake, and snake is something created by your mind. But the actual truth, what the Lord says here in this slokam, it is neither the snake nor the rope. It is Parabrahman. That's the most important thing to understand. It is neither the snake nor the rope. The rope is also created by your mind only, except we don't realize it. So he says, this kind of my divine effulgence takes several appearances, but I am not in them, he says. So you've got to pasya, look to me, look for me, right, in everything that you see. Another example is, when you look at the sculpture, for example, the stone disappears. But when you look at the stone, the sculpture disappears. Likewise, the things of this world disappear when you look at their support, at the support which is the Bhuta-Brit and the entity that is not only supporting them, but also creating them, making them appear. But when you look for that entity, everything else disappears. That is the most important truth and the lesson the Lord is teaching us in this slokam. Slokam number 6. Understand that all things live in me in the same way the limitless, ever-moving wind resides in the sky always. The wind does not touch the sky, but the sky is absolutely untouched, right? It's like that. Yatha kasas stitaha nityam vayuhu sarvatrago mahan tata sarvani bhutani matsani iti upadharaya. Yatha kasas stitaha nityam vayuhu sarvatrago mahan tata sarvani bhutani matsani. Padangal are yatha akasas stitaha nityam vayuhu sarvatragah mahane tata sarvani bhutani matsani iti upadharaya. Nityam, always, eternal. Nityam. Sarvatragaha. Sarvatragaha. In all places moving about, okay? Mahan, the great, or looks like huge, almost limitless. Okay, Mahan. Vayuhu, the wind. Yata, how, akasas stitaha, is established in the sky. How is it established in the sky? Without touching it, but it is just moving about. Tata, in the same way, sarvani bhutani, all the beings, matsani, established in me, iti, thus, upadharaya, understand, learn. Yata kasastito nityam, vayuhu sarvatrago mahane, tata sarvani bhutani, matsani tyupadharaya. Slokam number 7. At the end of a kalpa, now kalpa, I forgot to mention this to you earlier, kalpa, one kalpam is Brahma's day. Okay, that is 4.32 billion human years, as we saw earlier. So right now, Svetavaraha kalpe, that is a kalpam that we are living in. Okay, more on that later. So kalpa. At the end of a kalpa, all things disappear in me. Kaunteya, At the beginning of the next kalpa, I bring them forth and manifest them again. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpadau visrujamyaham. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpadau visrujamyaham. Padangal are Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mam ikam kalpakshaye punaha sthani kalpadau visrujami aham. Kaunteya, my dear Kaunteya, Sarva bhutani, all beings, kalpakshaye, at the end of kalpa, akshaye, right? Kalpakshaye, it's not akshaye, kalpakshaye. So when the kalpam ends, the end of kalpam, mamikam, my own, prakritim, the prakritim, as we saw earlier, we call it as nature, they prakritim yanti, they dissolve in me, they come back and disappear in me. Okay, yanti. Kalpadau, and the beginning of a kalpa, what happens? Tani, them, all the things that dissolved in me and disappeared in me, them, aham, I, punaha, again, visrujami, I create, I make them appear. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritam yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpadau visrujamyaham. Slokam number 8. Keeping myself latent, I repeatedly create and dissolve all these appearances again and again through natural impulses that bind them. Natural impulses that bind them. Slokam number 8. Prakritim swamavashtabhya visrujami punah punaha bhutagramam imam krishnam avasam prakrutehe avasat. Prakritim swamavashtabhya visrujami punah punaha bhutagramam imam krishnam avasam prakrutehe avasat. Padangal are prakritim swam avashtabhya visrujami punaha punaha bhutagramam imam krishnam avasam prakrutehe avasate. We have come across this word avasam in right from third adhyayam onwards, if you remember. Okay, avasam, without any action on your part, being impulsed by something else, by being pushed by something else. That is the natural impulses that keep pushing us. Okay, pushing and pulling. So, prakritehe avasate. Swam, my, prakritim, my nature, prakritim, my, swam prakritim, my nature. Now, very important. What is Bhagavan's nature? Is nothing but prema. Avashtabhya. The Bhagavan says, avashtabhya means, one way to understand this is to keeping it in control. But that is not what it is. He says, in this case, I remain latent. I remain to be discovered. That is what it means, okay? Prakritehe avasat. This prakriti means the prapancham that has been created, that moves about, prakriti, that is bound by the various gunas and all that, but controlled by the natural impulses. Prakritehe avasat. Avasam. That means the thing that is being pulled and pushed. Imam Krishnam. All these. Imam this. Krishnam all. Imam Krishnam. Bhutagramam. We saw earlier. Bhuta. You know what Bhuta is? Bhuta is something that has been created, that is appearing. Gramam in this case is an assemblage, the group, the total when we look around, all the things that have been created, all the huge group that is there, that is called Gramam. So all these Bhuta Gramam that is appearing, but they are all impelled by the natural impulses. Punaha, punaha, again and again, Visrujami, I create them, make them appear and appear and appear. But I keep myself in control. What does it mean? Keep my nature as latent in all these appearances and disappearances. That is what avashtabhya means. Okay. Prakritim swam avashtabhya visrujami punah punah bhuta gramam imam krishnam avasam prakrutehe avasat. Slokam number 9. But Dhananjaya, none of these actions bind or even touch me in any way because I am not attached to them. I am not concerned with them. Na cha mam tani karmani nibaghnanti Dhananjaya udasinavate asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Na cha mam tani karmani nibaghnanti Dhananjaya Udasinavate asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Padangal are na cha mam tani karmani nibaghnanti Dhananjaya Udasinavate asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Dhananjaya, tani karmani, those actions. 9:15. Tani karmani, those actions. Teshu karmasu, in those actions itself. Asaktam, not attached to. Udasinavate asinam cha, not concerned with it. Being a witness. Bhagavan is a witness. He's absolutely not touched by it. Okay. Mam, myself, na nibadhanti. They do not bind me. That's what Bhagavan says in this. So you have to be very careful. When Swami says, I'm not udasinavate, I'm not really concerned about them, and also asaktam, I'm not attached to them, that does not mean he is not attached to or not concerned by us. It's only the actions that the Lord is talking about. He's a divine mother. He cares only for our welfare. All his teaching is do the actions with the right attitude. That's what he's teaching here. Okay? Nacha mam tani karmani nibadhanti Dhananjaya udasinavate asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Slokam number 10. My dear son of Kunti, under my supervision, the natural impulses create all things that move and do not move and make the universe go around. Another insight into what is happening. We talk about creation and what is happening. Bhagavan is giving us an insight in here. Number 10. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. The padangal are Maya adhyakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam hetunanena is hetuna anena. Okay? Kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Maya adhyakshena, under my supervision, under my control, under my management, whatever word that we want to use there, adhyakshena means I am supervising it, right? Prakritihi, this nature, sa characharam, the chara acharam. Chara means something that moves. Achara means that does not move. If you look around in our own universe, our own world, we see things that are moving and things that do not move. Right? All of them, Sacharacharam, Suyate means to create. Kaunteya, Anena Hetuna, for this reason, by this reason, due to this reason, you can get Anena Hetuna, Anena, this Hetuna, reason, the cause, Jagat, the whole Prapanjam, the whole world, Vipari Vartate, it is moving about in a cyclical manner. It goes around and round. That is the way to say it. Vipari Vartate, goes round and round and round because of this. Maya Dhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Vipari Vartate. Slokam number 11. Not realizing the supremacy of my nature as the Lord of all beings, fools disrespect me as I adorn the human body. Bhagavan is talking about, Krishna is talking about his own avataram here. But the Lord comes as avataram, we think he is a human being, right? And now the word that the Swami uses here is avajananti, which means to not only to show disrespect, but also to denigrate. All those things are included in that. We'll cover that in the slokam. Okay. Avajananti ma mudaha manushim tanum asritam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheswaram. Avajananti ma mudaha manushim tanum asritam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhutaha maheswaram. Padangal avajananti ma mudaha manushim tanum asritam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheswaram. Bhuta maheswaram, the Lord, the master of all the beings. Mama, me. Param, the most sacred, most exalted, supreme. Bhavam, param bhavam, the awareness, the consciousness, the nothing but the state where paramapadam, nothing but where prema is, right? Pavitram, whatever way you want to call it, that entity, that bhavam, ajanantaha, not knowing, mudaha, these fools, manushim tanum, tanum means embodiment, tanum means body, manushim tanum means the body of a man, the human body, asritam, attained, mam, myself, avajananti, disrespect me, denigrate me. Okay, mam avajananti, they disrespect me, they denigrate me without knowing that I am the Bhuta Maheswaram, I am the Param Bhavam. They don't understand that. Okay? Avajananti. These mudaha, fools, they do like this, Bhagavan says. And all avatarams have gone through this, not a single exception. All avatarams, including Vamana avataram, Trivikrama avataram, every avataram has gone through this avajananti state because people don't understand what is in front of them. Okay? Avajananti mam mudaha manushim tanum asrutam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheswaram. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Samasta lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om.